First Alert Weather Extra starts now.
Well, finally, some much-needed rain across our area today, but you can see severe thunderstorm watches to our west. We have one more round of rain and storms moving through tonight, and this is that area we were telling you about, that final push that we'll have to keep an eye on, this moving in from the west direction. Storms right now impacting places like Red Bay and Russellville, and we've been watching a storm trying to rotate here around the Fulton area over into Mississippi here in Marion County. Within the hour, we'll see this impacting us there to the northwest. It's a severe storm at the moment. It has weakened a little bit. It looks like it may be in a situation where we're kind of seeing the cool air starting to outrun that particular storm. Let's get you to the full view so you can see this here on First Alert Accutrack Radar. And there's another look at that animation going back over the past hour here. Actually, I want to, meteorologist Lauren Linehan's at the controls. Lauren, I'll just let you kind of drive the radar here. Maybe we can go to the next 60 minutes. Lauren? Okay, all right. So, yeah, we're going to check out the next 60 minutes here as this line of storms there moves off to the southeast. Let me actually go back to the next 60 minutes and we'll show you. There you go. You can see there the track on this as it moves to the south and east. There's through 731 Hamilton, also around the Hackleburg area. Looks like we'll be impacted here over the next 731 there. Next hour, we'll see that moving in, some of that heavier rainfall. So that's what we're tracking next 60 minutes as we watch the far northwest areas. The bulk of that next round of rain is going to be moving west to east across the area late tonight, past midnight, and into the early morning. We had quite a bit of rain earlier that moved on through. There was a tornado warning earlier across the Nashville area. I know we've been talking a bit about that risk of isolated tornadoes. I still think areas to the west, we just can't totally rule that out. We're certainly not trying to over magnify the situation. We have a level 2 out of 5 slight risk for severe weather, but even with a severe thunderstorm watch, many times I've seen tornado warnings pop up. Suddenly a storm decides it wants to rotate, and that's just one of those things. That's why we have to just keep a close watch on the radar in case that happens tonight. But the thing we can do is be ready, just in case we see a surprise warning or two out of this. I think West Alabama, again, would have that greatest risk for maybe an isolated spin-up tornado if we did see that. Further to the west, though, the line, you'll notice how it's more broken back into Mississippi, but the forecast data that we're looking at shows this line starting to kind of fill in. Lauren, we may go to that next 24 hours. I believe I have that loaded up here, and we'll just show you what the forecast radar data looks like as we go through the overnight and into the morning hours tomorrow. And here it is. We'll just kind of walk you through this. This is showing the overnight setup that I was talking about later on tonight. Looks like the way this is moving, the bulk of the rain, you can see there's still more wet weather. We expect this to kind of fill in this final push. A cold front is going to kind of move through to lift this air. We'll start to see more storms develop and some rain. That's showing 11 o'clock to the far northwest areas. But I know timing-wise, we put like 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. in the morning. But places like Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, Aniana, Cullman, I mean, that's showing 1 o'clock in the morning. So, I mean, we're talking late tonight, that final push as that line moves on through. There's 3 o'clock in the morning, so we'll see the back edge of this pushing on through. Temperatures there you can see around 3 a.m. in the 60s as that moves west to east across the area. And then behind this, tomorrow, by the time we get to morning drive time, it's out of here. But there's going to be some late night rumbles. That's why it's important tonight. Just make sure you have ways to get those alerts. Our First Alert weather app. Maybe you've traveled, changed the location. Just make sure you have the right location in there, and also check the NOAA weather radio. Make sure you have some fresh batteries in your weather radio just in case we have some warnings overnight. But that's what we're looking at here this round. And then after this, looks like this weekend we could see some showers coming back by Sunday. And next week, the possibility of our first frost threat. Yeah, that's coming up right here on First Alert Weather Extra, so do stay with us. And also coming up, we're going to go beyond the 7-day forecast as we continue.
When 6 on Your Side investigates, the issues that directly impact you matter most to us.
That's why we're getting answers on rising prices and how you can save some money.
And being another set of eyes looking out for your kids and your family.
Getting to the bottom of health and billing issues that may be hidden in the fine print.
How events nationwide are affecting you here at home.
WBRC Fox 6 is always here on your side, ready to help. This is why 6 on Your Side investigates.
These are your mornings, and Good Day Alabama is built to start them right. the only station staying local on all platforms all morning long. In your community, giving you a deeper perspective with the largest team dedicated to you. Showing new stories from overnight, helping you get through your day. With First Alert weather and traffic, getting to the point, not wasting your time, these are your mornings. Prepare for a good day. Prepare with Good Day, Alabama.
When moments turn severe, how do you find clarity?
This is your First Alert from the WBRC Fox 6 weather team. We're with you as we prepare for this threat.
In a season of constant change, when you need to know first, when you need to prepare, only one team gives you the first alert wherever you are. A trusted team staying ahead of what's next in your neighborhood. Stay alert. Stay with the First Alert weather team. Live, new, and on your side, beginning at 9 p.m. In a day filled with clutter and noise, WBRC Fox 6 News breaks down what you need to know before anyone else. With new updates, live and on the scene, answers for your money and your livelihood, with 6 on Your Side investigates. And your first alert for the hours and days ahead with the WBRC First Alert weather team. On your favorite platforms every night. WBRC Fox 6 News at 9 and 10. On your side.
All right, welcome back to Weather Extra, and tracking this line of storms moving in from the northwest direction, already seeing some development. This is somewhat of a kind of an in-between period before that more organized line pushes on through later tonight, that next round of heavier rain. But we do have a storm. We're seeing some quarter-size hailstone reports from this one that's warranted that severe thunderstorm warning that's over to Mississippi. Here's Hamilton and Marion County, and already seeing the leading edge. I think this is becoming outflow dominated here. We're starting to see as it rains and cools things off, that cool air outruns the storm, and that's typically a good sign when it comes to storms weakening. But be ready. I know in Marion County we probably haven't seen quite as much rain as other parts of the area. We saw those heavier totals further south, but right there around Marion County, we're going to get some beneficial rain out of this. It looks like everybody's going to get a good soaking. Let's bring in meteorologist Lauren Linehan. Lauren, let's just, I wanted to discuss this with you, and actually I see you've got the temperatures pulled up behind you, and it is a little bit cooler, but we still see a little bit of wind shear that has us a bit still concerned about that risk of some stronger winds as this moves through later tonight.
Yeah, Wes, so I just kind of wanted to break down what ingredients we are looking at, why we think there could be that low-end severe threat. So what we're looking at here in terms of temperatures, you notice when that rain came through today, you're like, this doesn't really feel like tornado weather or anything. So it cooled us off a little bit with that rain we had widespread. It was kind of cloudy, pretty comfortable outside actually. And of course we were all happy about that rain, but you will notice a lot of us are in the 60s now. Some spots though, especially across West Alabama, we're still seeing 70s. So from Aliceville to Utah, temperatures in the 70s, up in Hamilton, 72 degrees. And these kind of line up with some of the spots that didn't see quite as much in the way of rain today. So we'll look at where those rainfall totals are from earlier today, but when we're looking at the atmosphere and trying to determine that severe threat, one thing we want to look for is energy in the atmosphere. And so one way you get energy is heat in the atmosphere. So we've got temperatures in the upper 60s, low 70s. It's not a surefire guarantee that we're going to see severe weather, but we certainly have already been seeing reports of hail off to our northwest and even across East Mississippi as well. But here's another thing you need in order for there to be severe weather: moisture. So as we look at dew points here, there's certainly plenty of moisture in the atmosphere. I know we've been enjoying some nice fall weather recently, nice and dry, but what we're seeing widespread across our area is those dew points, which tells us how much moisture is in the air, showing a lot of it with temperatures in the mid upper 60s. So we've got some nice moisture around for everyone. But the question is, why in West Alabama would you see that better chance of storms? Well, Wes was mentioning something called wind shear in the atmosphere. So we may not have too much in the way of energy, but we certainly do have a lot of wind shear. And this is something that oftentimes Wes will see in winter severe events where there may not be a ton of energy in the atmosphere, but you could have one of those high shear environments that when you have that in the atmosphere, that could lead to spin or brief rotation on any storms that develop.
Exactly, Lauren. I mean, this is that time of year when we, typically in the fall, severe weather season, you end up with a lot of these. And even in the wintertime, severe weather events, we call them low cape, high shear environments that we deal with, and you end up with a little bit of wind shear. And Lauren, just stay right there. I wanted to bring in Accutrack Radar so you could drive it right there from your monitor. I believe you have the controls right there, and you could zoom in. I want you to back that view out, and you know, we're looking here in areas back to the west and northwest, kind of get in closer to the Memphis area just to show this. This is that final line. If you're tracking along with us at home here on the First Alert weather app, this is what we're going to be watching for later tonight. And you can see it's still way north and west of us, but that's what's going to rotate on through here later on tonight. That's what that's going to be the final push. And that's why we're still saying, you know, late tonight. I know you're seeing some of these storms. This isn't necessarily way ahead of schedule. There's still going to be that final push here later on tonight. But that one storm right there, we're going to keep an eye on it as it continues to track southeast. And Lauren, let's actually go, let's look further south there towards Jackson, Mississippi. There were some storms I was keeping a watch on around Philadelphia, Mississippi. Yeah, right in here, Marion, actually, there's a severe storm. So for folks watching around Choctaw County, Butler areas, Livingston, keep an eye on this a storm here that's going to be moving in from the west direction. It looks like places close to York there could be impacted. It looks like this may stay just south of Boyd, Highway 17. There's Interstate 5920. So another storm here. So kind of watching the far northwest, far southwest parts of our coverage area at the moment, but things are going to start moving on through here later on tonight. And again, late tonight, Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Anniston, you're probably going to hear some of those overnight rumbles of thunder. The good news, we're going to have another chance for some rain. The bad side is that some of these storms, we have the potential there for some of those to be severe. Look at what Lauren's plotting here. That's showing 1-inch quarter-size hailstones. That's why that is a severe storm. And just curious, Lauren, let's take a look at some of the tornado parameters on this particular storm. I think we look at the shear rate and some of the velocity parameters. So seeing just very weak rotation with this at the moment. And yeah, this storm here right now seems to be behaving, but no tornado, but it is a severe storm. So we could have those winds reaching over 58 miles per hour. This one storm here I mentioned a few moments ago becoming outflow dominant, and by that I know it's still producing a lot of lightning. We're seeing reports of hail out of this, but what's going on is some of that cooler air starting to kind of outrun the storm, which means there is a pretty strong gust front with this, and there could be some damaging wind gusts with that as it moves in towards places like Scottsville, closes in on those areas. Hopefully it will weaken before it crosses on into Alabama, but you can see there that we're basically looking, wow, look at the, this is the triple threat parameter that Lauren's bringing up, and this is showing 3+ inch size hailstones. Likely not that size, but sometimes this particular product, when you have a sure enough guarantee that there's quarter-size hailstones inside of a storm, I mean, there could be some golf ball size hailstones showing up with this, but I don't think it's quite the 3 inches, but it seems to really throw out some of those high numbers sometimes when you have just a strong indication there of some large hail with this. So it looks like the big thing that we're seeing right now with a lot of these storms out there, and likely because we still have some lifting going in across the region right there in Marion County. Just stay alert for that possibility of a storm that could produce some hail moving in within the hour to the northwest and some gusty winds. We need to keep an eye on that severe thunderstorm, and also watching that one storm is going to be crossing in there, possibly close to southern Sumter County. Lots more as we continue here on Weather Extra, including an update on when we could see our first frost. We'll show you that after the break.
Remodeling a shower or bath can be tricky with gas prices up and tight monthly budgets. Cost is a real concern, but West Shore Home is helping homeowners get the shower bath they need right now. I'm joined by Kirsten from West Shore Home. And Kirsten, tell us, how is West Shore making bath remodeling affordable?
So Joe, for folks who want to get their bath or shower project done right now, we have a very special offer. We know that monthly budgets are a little bit tight right now, which is why we wanted to make this offer available to everyone. If they give us a call, we have 18 months of no payments and no interest financing. That means they can get their shower or bath done now and not have to make a payment for 18 full months.
So you're saying people can get their new shower bath installed right now and not have to worry about making any payments or paying any interest until 2024. That's really helpful.
Definitely. People love this plan because it allows them to be flexible with their finances.
Can we see some projects you've done recently?
Absolutely. So here's one where the homeowner wanted to replace their old fiberglass shower with something more new and modern. So we replaced it with a beautiful marble-style shower with an easy low-step entry and a beautiful shower door.
That is amazing. Perfect combination of safety and beauty.
It definitely is, so let's take a look at another one. These homeowners were struggling with mold and mildew from their old tile. They were tired of scrubbing. We were able to give them this beautiful new shower that is so much easier to clean. You can get a new shower or bath just like this when you call right now, and you won't have any interest or payments until 2024.
Kirsten, thanks so much. Folks, do not put off that shower or bath project any longer. West Shore Home is making it affordable to take care of that bath project right now. West Shore Home is extending this offer for 1 week only. Free installation on all shower and bath projects. And for a limited time, they're doing 18 months of flexible financing. That's no payments and no interest until early 2024. This is an offer you don't want to miss. Call the shower and bath experts at West Shore Home now.
All right, First Alert's 7-day forecast. Tonight, rainstorms, that's all moving out early tomorrow. And most of the day tomorrow looks pretty good. If you have plans outdoors, we're talking high temperatures in the 70s, and that sunshine will make a return. But colder tomorrow night. We're getting into that time of the year. Starts to warm up. We get fronts, temperature falls. Starts to warm up again, then here comes the next system. That's the kind of setup that we're in right now. And you'll see there by Friday morning, we're in the 40s to start the day, highs in the 70s. Beautiful weather Friday night, the football, we're in good shape. Saturday also looks like a nice day. You have big weekend plans here. Saturday night should be okay, but what happens is that moisture starts to kind of return, and we get the clouds, maybe a few showers at this point. We don't see heavy rain, but it is a system to keep our eye on in case we need to fine-tune those rain chances. I think Sunday night's probably going to be the best chance based on what we see now for a few additional showers. But yes, some more rain in the forecast, and then Monday that moves out. We have another surge of colder air that moves in, and look at Tuesday and into Wednesday, the possibility of some frost across parts of the area. 38 for a low, so there will be some locations where we wake up to a frosty start if that holds true in early on Wednesday morning. So here's another look at the radar. There's that nasty line. It really ramped up there around the Nashville area, but you can see how we're getting more development, and this all is going to pivot through here later on tonight. Notice there's a severe thunderstorm watch to the west of us. We may see a watch pop up across parts of our area. Those storms that were to the west of Pickens County have weakened quite a bit. This is the model guidance. 10 o'clock tonight, you can see it's showing some of that heavier rain, kind of the final push for us here in West Alabama. I know areas to the north, we didn't see quite as much rain for today, but there's a chance later on tonight we're going to make up on the missing out today. We'll have some rain that moves on through. Tuscaloosa showing 11 o'clock, some storms tracking through the area. Greensboro, we'll really need to watch out these areas to the west, down to the southwest here as the night goes on for that risk of a severe storm, and one that may produce a brief tornado. That risk is there. It's limited, but it's there. We need to be weather alert tonight in case we do have a rogue warning. There's 11 o'clock, and then East Alabama, 1 o'clock in the morning, and that should about do it. But you can see there the rain reaches places like Anniston Center. You may hear some loud rumbles here early morning hours, 1 to 2 a.m., and by 3 a.m. we should see most of that rain moving out. The guidance still showing maybe some showers. You know, a lot of this will be pushing on to the south as the drier air starts to work its way back in here. The clouds may be around early tomorrow, but we will break into some sunshine as the day goes on. So that's what we're tracking there. Also, Tropical Storm Carl, that's over the southwest Gulf of Mexico. Here's the latest on Carl. It's a strong tropical storm, winds of 60 miles per hour, but at least, you know, we're not looking at a Category 4, borderline Category 5 hurricane, thankfully, but it is a tropical storm, and the way it's just kind of staying in this region here, there's some locations it's going to get a lot of rain, and that's going to result in some flooding as this moves to the south. So it will have some significant impacts, unfortunately, as it moves in towards Mexico, but this stays away from the Alabama and the Florida Gulf Coast. So this weekend, if you have travel plans, don't worry about canceling anything. You should be okay for this weekend. Not expecting any direct impacts from Carl. We'll keep you well informed on where that system is going. As we look into the weekend, I mentioned that chance of a shower. Again, it looks like Sunday night, based on what we're seeing timing-wise, for the best chance of rain out of this next system. You know, during the day Sunday, maybe some clouds. I know we have that 30% on there. There could be a couple of isolated showers, but the chance looks greatest during the overnight. Wet weather moves out Monday, and you have some time now. Go ahead and make plans, and next Tuesday and Wednesday, there will be parts of the area where it may be cold enough for some frost, but even if it doesn't happen, it's right around the corner. You can tell these cooler temperatures moving in here. I want to bring in meteorologist Jill Gilardi. And Jill, looking at the way this forecast is setting up this season, everything's happening a little bit sooner. And you hear the term, is it going to be an early fall? It's an early fall.
Yeah, certainly. And, you know, we just never know, though. Sometimes they can go right back to being warm again. So we just got to be on our toes this time of year. Lots of changes happening. The jet stream's doing all kinds of different things, and where, you know, rises upwards, that's where you get all that hot air and above average heat. And it looks like some of that above average heat will be transitioning slowly with time eastward. It was, you know, that expected 8 to 14 day outlook for the West Coast, and now it's starting to expand 8 to 14 days out across parts of the Midwest. Now, across the Southeast, there is indication for below average temperatures beyond the 7-day, but again, it starts to shift a little bit, so we're not as high of category as we were before. So again, we'll be watching for that possibility of below average temperatures, but again, it could easily, you know, you go a little bit later in time and it switches back again. So then in terms of precipitation, there now is an indication of drier than normal conditions. So again, we'll have to keep watching this. There are no big rainmakers other than what we're seeing over the, you know, next 12 hours for this opportunity for rain. Just little hints here and there, but hey, this has been great, Wes, to get this rain with more rain on the way, and something we're going to be obviously tracking because of that potential for a couple of storms to maybe misbehave.
Yeah, we have a severe thunderstorm warning. In fact, Jill, I'll let you grab the controls there on the radar and take us into Marion County right now. So that storm, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning now for Marion County, and we'll bring in some of the specifics on that. The warning, see if I can bring up the timing on that. Just got the first alert here in the Weather Center. So severe thunderstorm warning, it expires in 37 minutes. So the National Weather Service mostly concerned here about damaging straight line winds, as we talked about, and that risk for some large hail with this storm. That's going to be in effect until 7:30. On that storm there moving into Marion County. It's about 8 miles to the southeast of Fulton, moving east at 30 miles per hour. Jill's putting those first alert times on here for us. That county over in the Mississippi, that's Etowah County, and that storm now crossing into Marion County. So Weston, Hamilton area, Hamilton 7:24. The timing on this, greatest concern, damaging straight line winds and some large hail with this. So Marion County, first alert, help spread the word. I know we're streaming on Facebook right now, so share this for all of our friends there in Marion County. We're going to continue covering this weather right here on First Alert Weather Extra. You know, you can join us each day, 6:30 on our streaming channels, only 30-minute weather show around, and we'll keep you posted. Lots of updates as we continue right here.
When 6 on Your Side investigates, the issues that directly impact you matter most to us. This is why 6 on Your Side investigates.
These are your mornings, and Good Day Alabama is built to start them right. The only station staying local on all platforms all morning long. Prepare for a good day. Prepare with Good Day Alabama.
When 6 on Your Side investigates, the issues that directly impact you matter most to us.
That's why we're getting answers on rising prices and how you can save some money.
How events nationwide are affecting you here at home.
WBRC Fox 6 is always here on your side, ready to help. This is why 6 on Your Side investigates.
In a season of constant change, when you need to know first, when you need to prepare, only one team gives you the first alert. A trusted team staying ahead of what's next in your neighborhood. Stay alert. Stay with the First Alert Weather Team.
When 6 on Your Side investigates, the issues that directly impact you matter most to us.
Being another set of eyes looking out for your kids and your family.
This is why 6 on Your Side investigates.
Live, new, and on your side. Beginning at 9 p.m., WBRC Fox 6 News breaks down what you need to know before anyone else on your favorite platforms every night. WBRC Fox 6 News at 9 and 10. On Your Side.
When 6 on Your Side investigates, the issues that directly impact you matter most to us.
That's why we're getting answers on rising prices and how you can save some money.
This is why 6 on Your Side investigates.
How will the weather impact your roads? The First Alert Weather app has live traffic updates and road conditions for a safer commute. This is why we First Alert.
WBRC Fox 6 News. On Your Side.
Welcome back to First Alert Weather Extra. I'm meteorologist Lauren Linehan. Wes was just telling you before the break, we have a new severe thunderstorm warning for Marion County. This is the storm that we were tracking over in northeast Mississippi that we noticed had quite a hail core on it as was being picked up by our system here. Right now, it is moving generally east-southeast, and this thunderstorm warning is in effect until 7:15 p.m. Central Time. So we want to go ahead and give a first alert. If you live in Hamilton, Fulton Bridge, this could be headed your way. Bexar looks like it's right on your doorstep. We're arriving within the next couple of minutes. Barnesville also looks like it's going to be arriving around 7:17 p.m. and Weston around 7:21 p.m. So what we're seeing here with the pinks that are showing up, that's indicating that not just that you have heavy rain falling, but there could be some hail lofted within this storm that could be falling. And we've already gotten some reports of hail in our southwest counties today, so it's not out of the question that we're seeing this now. Wes is pulling up the analysis showing that potentially at least 2-inch hail on this. 3-inch may be a little excessive, but when it's popping up white here, that's a good indication that you've got some hail that could be falling. And even on our Accutrack, when we look at the radar here, you see the reflectivities. Reflectivities are telling us, okay, how much rain is there in a storm? Is it light rain, heavy rain? When you begin to see these purples and even blacks showing up here, that's either some very intense rainfall. Oftentimes when it's that intense, it indicates there is some very strong hail falling. So as we look at the next 60 minutes, this will continue to track down I-22. We'll be moving towards Hamilton. If we go towards street level here, we mentioned Weston being in the bullseye here as this pushes off to the east-southeast, but we also have Hamilton. So if you live anywhere along Military Street North coming out of Hamilton, also I'll name a few other names here: Riverside Drive, Blue Sky Drive, Military Trail, along Highway 278 as this pushes down I-22. Even if you live to the north and east of I-22, you could be seeing that strong hail core coming in. Now, as Wes was mentioning, these storms are really strongly influenced by outflow. That means that a lot of these storms, as they're pushing to the southeast, they're generally going to be dissipating. Instead of having these updrafts, they're going into a storm that help to strengthen and help its lifespan. Instead, what you'll be seeing eventually as it moves farther to the southeast past that I-20-59 corridor, going to be more outflow dominated to where a lot of the energy is going out. But this storm's still very robust, so we don't want to let our guard down with this. That severe thunderstorm warning, again, in effect, I think until about 7:15 p.m. Central Time, and moving right along I-22. So this is showing that path of where the hail could be traveling, unfortunately, right along I-22. If you have any friends or family, or you're watching us here from Marion County, I would definitely avoid traveling along I-22 right now, because you see right near Bexar, that's where that main hail core is moving. It looks like the worst of it may stay just to the south of Scottsville, but this will keep on pushing to the east-southeast. Last I checked, I think it was moving at about a speed of maybe 35 miles per hour. So we'll watch and see if it begins to de-intensify as it pushes farther to the southeast. Right now, definitely want to give that first alert to anyone living along I-22, and that's going to be anywhere from Barnesville to Weston in Marion County. And Marion County, you're kind of included in that area, northwest, west Alabama, where we could be seeing that potential for some stronger storms. If you live in East Alabama, that severe threat going to be lower for tonight. But we'll keep an eye on this. Next, we want to turn, before we wrap up here, to Mickey Ferguson, who gives us a look at events going on around Central Alabama.
Hey, let's take a look at what we should wear tomorrow. Tomorrow we're looking at about 64 degrees at about 7 a.m. That rain still may be tapering off into some of our southern or southeastern counties, but check out what happens tomorrow afternoon. We're up into the upper 70s again. Should be a beautiful fall day with decreasing clouds going into the afternoon hours. And here's the update on the Cullman County Fair forecast for Thursday, tomorrow, from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. Gates open at 5, 71 degrees. Does cool off into the 50s when the gates close there, so jacket's probably a good idea. We have your Birmingham Greek Food Festival, and the weather's going to be awesome for that. All this rainfall should be gone by 10 a.m. And look at this, temperature readings up into the 70s. Man, that looks like a nice time to go on down and get you some of that Greek food. Whiskey Myers, that concert's Thursday evening at the Tuscaloosa Amphitheater. 67 degrees right around 7 p.m. with clear skies and light winds. Man, that's a nice time for a concert as well, but a jacket is probably going to be needed. So then we have the Greek Food Festival continuing on for Friday. Excellent weather there, a little bit warmer on Friday, getting up to about 78 degrees. And your sideline forecast for Friday night, clear skies, perfect weather for high school football. Now, when you're at any of these events, you can check the weather on your First Alert weather app, or, take a picture of what's going on in your different locales, maybe a picture of the changing fall leaves. That would be nice too. And send it in. You can scroll down to the bottom of that app and you'll see where to submit photos, and we can feature some of those right here on Weather Extra.
Thanks for that, Mickey. And we are still tracking this severe warned thunderstorm that is making its way. It's just crossed over the Mississippi border and is basically moving right along I-22. It looks like the worst of the hill core, though, is right near Bexar, and that looks like it is just to the right of Spearman Road. So south of I-22, east of Spearman Road, moving generally to the east-southeast at about 35 miles per hour. So if you live along I-22 in Marion County, especially areas farther west, we want to go ahead and give you that first alert from Weston to Barnesville. You could be seeing this intense storm moving your way. We haven't seen any official confirmed reports of hail that has fallen, but just based on what we're seeing on radar, there's likely going to be at least some hail falling. The question is, how big is it going to be? We were getting that estimate of about 2-inch hail. Here we go. Wes is showing us the reflectivity again. How intense is the rain within this? Is it lighter rain, heavier rain? But I mean, it's not every day that you see. Oftentimes when we show you radar loops, you'll see the yellows, the oranges, the reds. That's pretty standard. But when you begin to see the pinks and the blacks, that means that there is a lot of intense rainfall or potentially some intense hail being picked up right at the radar. So Wes was showing over the next 60 minutes, this will keep on pushing to the east-southeast right along I-22. So from Hamilton even down to Fulton Bridge, right along Highway 43, we're going to be keeping a close eye on this. And of course, if we do have a situation where we have something like a tornado warning, we will be sure to cut into programming. In the meantime, go Braves. Make sure you're watching them tonight and cheering them on. I'm First Alert meteorologist Lauren Linehan. Have a safe and happy